Welcome back to Leonard Brothers Game. I'm David,
I'm John.
and this is Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube.
Something we actually have some progress on.
Yes, well, I actually beat the game 100% without cheating, mind you. So this is actually we're going straight to Supersonic. This is going to be spoilers, going to be end of the game. You have a whole bunch of like cutscenes and stuff. So basically, the point of Sonic Adventure, it was the uh, main game, one of the main launch titles for the Dreamcast, and one thing that really propelled Sonic into 3D and kind of gave the basis for his kind of style, the way he ended up progressing in terms of 3D games. And this and its sequel, Sonic Adventure 2, are considered among the best of the 3D games, because this is when Sega still had their head on straight. Despite having Big the Cat, this game does have Big the Cat and the whole fishing mini game. It didn't really work very well. And this is also where they first called him Dr. Eggman instead of Dr. Robotnik. And so they got this. I don't know if I can. I guess I can't skip the cutscene. But anyways, maybe I can. That would be good. Let's see if I can just push enough buttons rapidly that it would go skip the cutscene. Thank you. So anyways, the Master Emerald's been returned, but the island is still not floating into the sky. And Knuckles goes to see Sonic, and he's like, what's going on here? Things still aren't right. And so Sonic, this is where, actually one of the first games in the series that included an open world kind of thing. They had all these generic human people, you know. And I remember when we rented the Dreamcast. Remember that, John?
Well,
It was like back in the day, like
At
'99. Blockbuster had like a rental for a week. You could rent the system and Sonic Adventure, and we played through all of Sonic's campaign. I think we got all the way through the end, and we wanted to go through more, but we only had the system for a week, and we were used to the PlayStation 1. So looking at these graphics, which are on the GameCube here, slightly enhanced, slightly improved, but in general, not so much. So anyways, I forget exactly where I had to go. There was like I guess there was a different path that I had to, take Sonic over to where Knuckles is right now. Yeah, I think this is right. If I go over here, I'll trigger the next cutscene. And the whole point, a lot of people were disappointed about the Sonic Adventure series because it introduced the idea that, yeah, Sonic can't just, turn Super Sonic like you could in the old games. You collect all 7 Emeralds, and you collect 50 rings, and you become Super Sonic, and you just run around, and you're like really, really fast and cool and stuff. And like, nope. This, he just has basically a glorified cutscene to become Super Sonic, and you fight in one final battle. Unless there's a section, I guess they're lying down on the ground somewhere. If I remember, here we go. That triggers the cutscene. You're like, hey, it's Sonic and Tails, and it's also, this game included upgrades like the light speed dash and other stuff that you picked up throughout the game. And this is where Sonic goes into the past.
It looks familiar.
And he sees the ancient echidnas, because that's the whole point of this game. Kind of introduces the origin of Knuckles and his people, and saying that they were an ancient race who kept care of the Chow characters, and everything goes horribly wrong because the Chaos creature uses the power of the Chaos Emeralds and becomes this giant, like, liquid glob evil monster. And so she's the one that's trying to call there, is trying to do the right thing, and everyone else just like, the echidnas become mad with power, basically, and it bites them because they release this giant monster who ends up slaying almost all of them. And so there's kind of that issue. I forget if you have to go all the way up here. Yeah, it's just like one cutscene after another after another. Yes.
Yeah, but hey, look, no loading times.
That's true.
Or very short loading
Very
times.
short loading times. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the advantage. A lot of people looked at the GameCube and saying, "Why is it a smaller disc? It holds less data because it's the mini DVD. Only holds 2 gig instead of 4 or 8. For a dual layer. Ah.
What did you just do?
Yeah. So anyways, one of the advantages of this smaller layer is because the disc doesn't have as much space on the physical copy to traverse. So it's able to read the disc faster and reduce loading time significantly, even though it can hold less. So a lot of games certain ones like Resident Evil 4 or Tales of Symphonia, where the PlayStation and Xbox versions had one disc, it had to be split up into two discs on the GameCube version because it couldn't quite hold as much, even though the loading times were lower, and oftentimes the graphics power was better. I was listening to a commentary, I forget which game they were playing. I think it was like Sonic Heroes or something. Yeah. They were saying how the frame rate and graphics were much better on the GameCube version than they were on the PS2 version because the GameCube is significantly more powerful. Like double the processor and double the graphics and stuff like that because it was made later, and I guess Nintendo put more effort into it than Sony did. Even though, a lot of people say that the graphics don't mean anything. It's all about the gameplay, and PS2 has had a lot more gameplay than the other systems of its time, and it's still being sold to this day. So it's got to mean something, right?
Yeah, but what games are made for it now?
A lot of ports for PlayStation Portable.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of games that were like started on PSP, but still, the system's now 14 years old. You can only expect so much out of a system that's 14 years old. I mean, it's pretty much just the bare minimum basics. And I probably should have paid more attention to the cutscenes to remember where I'm supposed to go at this point because I'm not exactly sure.
Seems like a Game Grumps mistake to me.
Wouldn't it be? Anyways, this is Station Square. This is like the main hub world, at least, where you start out from. That's where you fight Chaos in the first place. And I haven't played this in ages, and the way that they structure it, you gotta kind of look up, if you don't have a walkthrough, at least handy. The music on this is also great, too. The overworld and stuff like that, and the variety of characters may get, especially if you look at characters like Big the Cat, are a little grating after a while. And for the life of me, I can't remember. I guess I'm going to look at these hint boxes. The casino. I don't want to go to the casino. That's annoying. Even the train station gets a day off. Anyways, this is another area. If I went up here, I could get the light speed dash by pushing on these two.
Or if you do it wrong.
Or if I do it wrong. You're doing it wrong, duh. And this is the other area that you start out with the first level at. If I go over here... Oh, it starts out Emerald Coast. Why not? Let's just play Emerald Coast for fun. Because I got lost otherwise. And for some reason, it still lets me play through it. Destroy within 2 minutes. This is the first level, first thing anyone ever saw of this game.
So yeah, even though you completed 100% of the game already,
yeah,
we're still going to show you the first thing you play in the game.
Oh, yeah. Because that's what we should do, even despite, having completed everything else. And they have copied this level over and over again since, remember the Sonic 06? You see all the similarities between that?
No, I don't really.
You don't at all?
This is better.
This is better. But they tried to copy off Sonic 06 pretty much, tried to copy everything they could with the spike platforms and the beach kind of scenario and all this stuff, all these loops and all these spike stuff, and then near the end you got the whale jumping, so like that. It's like, this is the stuff that's just, say, all along these platforms. Sega ripped themselves off and did a terrible job of it in Sonic 06. It's like, feel the waves of nostalgia, and then they did it again in Sonic Generations. They had this kind of level in there as well. But of course, Sonic Generations was pretty much entirely designed as a love letter to the fans kind of thing. They had interviews with the not only the directors and so on of the game series, but also of fans, as many as they could, over Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. And they asked fans, like, what levels do you want us to remake in Sonic Generations? And they picked a lot of good ones, and it was kind of weird how they only picked one ending level, that being from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Otherwise, they picked like the first level or the second level of the various games, because those are the most iconic ones. Green Hill Zone, yeah, everyone loves Green Hill Zone, or this one, Emerald Coast, and there's other levels. The one they picked, I guess Sonic Heroes, was also the first level. But I guess you also wanted to mention a little bit about Sonic Boom. A little update on that. We talked about that in an earlier Sonic episode. But the developers at Big Red Button Studios invited Sonic Team to see what their progress was, and they were quite appalled, shocked even at the at what Big Red Studios had done.
Uh-oh.
See, you jump too many times and you done die because they tell you to jump and then they don't tell you when to stop jumping. But fortunately, there's that little checkpoint there, which doesn't take very long to get back to. You're basically right where you were. It's like they knew people first, or people who haven't played it in a while, would be like, "Oh, jump to your death."
Anyways, you were saying.
I was saying, yeah. The company the Sonic Team was shocked by what they saw, these radical changes in design and stuff like that. It's like, well, at this point, what Sonic Team needs to realize is that they need a new design team. They need something completely different from the norm to establish. Oh, I didn't get the whole. It was supposed to be under 2 minutes, but whatever. I think I already got most of the A missions, anyways. The things that A missions unlock in this version, unlike the previous one on the Dreamcast, they had these special extra mission sessions and stuff. They unlock Game Gear games, Sonic 2, Sonic Chaos, Sonic Triple Trouble. A whole bunch of these different Game Gear games are playable, emulated on the GameCube.
Neat.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Anyways, you were saying.
Unless there's a way to about Sonic and Boom. Yeah. But you know, Sega needs to let these different companies work on these games. I mean, the Naughty Dog let I forget what they're called. Another company. Yeah.
That's a big game.
Blue Sky Studios, something like that. Create new versions of Jak and Daxter and other games on PlayStation Portable, and it was just a new, fresh perspective gave new life to the series, whereas it was kind of becoming kind of dull and stale and repetitive on when they were working on it. So whether it ends up being good or bad, even Sega has admitted themselves, it's just a separate branch, a different universe. Just like there's multiple universes of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That which
there's
I love.
multiple styles of Sonic.
And how all the newer versions, at least of that series, they keep always referring back to the one from the one that we grew up with.
Oh, yeah.
With April O'Neil in a huge yellow jumpsuit thing, whatever it was.
Yeah.
As a redheaded reporter. And how there's been different iterations of her. And they were always like, what? Why? This is stupid. These people are idiots.
Yeah. Anyways, until next time, happy gaming.